Hey guys, Ken's 97 Stow 171, doing another Euro Truck Simulator
Drive safe.
drive. Gonna be grabbing a yacht and taking it to Dover. We are currently in Brno, and it's gonna go over this way to Dover. So at the very end, we'll get to go across the either the ferry or the tunnel. I don't remember which.
Turn left. Keep right, and then turn right.
The yachts are only 9 ton. They're pretty
Turn
light.
right.
Figured I'd take you with me to the pickup location. It's only 11 miles
Go
away.
straight on.
Since it's a pretty long drive, the extra
Get ready to turn left.
few minutes at the pickup won't matter.
Turn left.
About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we should probably go all the way through the night and into the daytime the next day. Surprised there wasn't a traffic light there. Whoa. That's really weird. There's no traffic light there for me or them. I wonder what the deal is there.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Maybe it's just I don't know.
Turn left.
Might just be a you have to look out for one another situation. Never run into that before. I think this
Get
is
ready to turn right.
Czech Republic, so maybe the signage is just different. I don't know. Weird.
Turn right. Turn right. You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
Okay. So we're going to Dover, Great Britain. Pay $72,000, $92 per mile. So that's going to be the route. Yeah, so we're in the Czech Republic. Headed across. All right. Take the job. Parking spaces right there. Kind of bizarre, like, that's the parking space, but like, where's the yacht gonna actually come from? Like, a lot of times when you deliver, you're delivering to a marina, which makes sense. But the pickup location for these yachts is a little, like, I'd still expect it to be a shipyard or something.
to hit the road. Turn left. Turn left.
Sometimes my left turn signal doesn't go on. Something up with the controller. That particular button trigger.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
So this is going to be a long one, 802 miles. 19 hours. Why the hell did the flashers get? That happens a lot with the autonomous braking. You'll approach. You'll approach. And
Keep left.
truck thinks you're going to hit. Okay, so another intersection here. So this intersection, we don't stop. There's no stop sign, and they don't stop. That's really weird. The same is true with this one. There's no signage. This is that intersection where the truck ran across in front of me and I almost hit him. So there's no stop signs or traffic lights here for either them. Now, they have a yield sign. So we probably have right of way, and they have to yield, which is not what happened at that intersection. That truck came across in front of me. Maybe I was going faster than anticipated or something. I don't know. The hell? Oh, it's the lane's closed. Yeah, the AI traffic is not exactly brilliant. There's a cop sitting there. The lane is closed. Oh boy, broken trailer. I've never seen that one before. Usually it's a vehicle on fire or an accident. That one, the side of the trailer was broke open and the cargo had fallen out. That's a new one. Yep.
Go straight on.
That still messes with me in this game. On most U.S. interstates, you will not have a two-lane highway like that, and the exit consumes the right lane and it actually disappears. Normally, the right lane goes straight across and also will be the exit lane. So you have a choice when you get to the exit to just exit off or continue going straight. But in the European maps here, not all of them, but a significant number of them, that right lane ends as it goes over the bridge and then comes back on the other side of the bridge. And it's unusual for a truck to be driving in the left lane for no reason. So then you're in the right lane, which then ends on the exit ramp. So you have to jump over to the left, and then when you get on the other side of the bridge, you have to jump back over to the right. It's just a little different. And it's not at every single crossover, like I said, so it's a little weird. There are plenty of occasional oddball situations in the U.S. too, though. So, if you ever driven in Texas, we have the Texas turnaround with U-turn lanes in the far left lane, service roads, and then some places two-way service roads on both sides of the interstate, which is really weird. If you've never driven, you see them a lot in Midland, Odessa. So on each side of the interstate, you have a service road that has two-way traffic. And that two-way traffic, if you're trying to enter onto the highway, you have to go across the oncoming lane. They have to yield for you, period. And the same is true with traffic exiting off of the freeway onto that service road. You have the right-of-way coming off the highway, and the service road traffic has to yield. It works, but you really got to pay attention. And if you're on the service road yielding to oncoming traffic from the highway, you kind of got to look back over your shoulder to see if there's a vehicle coming, because you're not, depending on the situation, you're not always actually able to see the traffic coming off the highway. So you're trying to drive down the road and look over your shoulder while going 55 or 60 miles an hour at the same time. Most of the time, you can see easily, but there are a few of them where there's like an elevation change or something, and it kind of blocks your view. Every place is different. Every place has its weird, unique features. Cool looking trailer with the end of the trailer painted kind of funky. Guys, we're coming up on 15 minutes, so that's a good time to stop as any right here. And we're back. Still trying to decide. I need to do the free version of this screen capture. I think, I don't really care about the watermark, but I think the paid version also gets rid of the 15-minute file size or time length. Stop for fuel right there. That was an easy fuel stop. Don't really need it yet though. This truck has pretty big tanks, like 1,100 liters.
Go straight
See, there's
on.
another one. Where in the U.S., this section right here would still be a lane you could drive in. I mean, it would be wider than that. But the lane ends. You have to stay in the left lane. And then it continues. And you got to get back
Keep
in the right
right,
lane.
and then exit right.
You just wouldn't see that in the U.S. normally.
Exit right.
Ah. Oh my god. What the fuck happened there? That was weird. Looked like it was going to tip over. You know, I wonder if there's a physics change. They just did an update to 1.5.12, I think. Both ATS and ETS got an update last night. They added a thing called the Driving Academy, and I don't think a lot of other things changed, but maybe the physics changed on one of the things I've noticed in both games is you often can go around a corner way faster than you could really in real life. You would flip the truck. And that would mean that you're going to have to, you know, pay attention to speed in corners more, which makes it more realistic. Going to take it a little more leisurely. Just going a little over the speed limit. I might bump it up to 5. The nice thing is with the radar cruise, when you come up on a slower moving truck,
Keep
you know,
right, and then exit right.
you just slow down automatically, which is nice.
Exit right.
How about this big ass lane here is on the right? Is it just the emergency lane? Or maybe it's just a little extra space for trucks so they can go wide. One of the things I do not like about the Xbox controller is like when you're reaching your fingers or thumb over to hit a control, you know, it disrupts your movement of your thumb on the stick, which is your steering input. That's why you end up occasionally doing like these weird like movements like that, because you're just taking your hand slightly out of position.
Go straight on.
Oh, there's another one of these. I mean, I guess the good thing about that system is if you screwed up, you would just end up going down the on-ramp and just coming right back up the on-ramp on the other side. It's just weird. Like, why not just have 4 lanes go over the bridge so that the highway traffic doesn't have to squeeze into 1 lane and then re-expand back into 2 lanes? It's just kind of weird. How much extra effort would it have been to have a bridge that was wide enough to take that traffic? I'd really like to play this game in a little higher resolution, if not 4K, maybe 2K. There are places where like that, there was a road sign back there that looked interesting, but I have no idea what it was. You really can't read it. Probably a combination of frame rate and resolution. And on a 50-inch TV. I mean, you guys are watching this on whatever TV or medium you're watching in 1080p 60. But I'm playing the game on a 50-inch TV that's, 5 or 6 feet away from me. Distance, resolution, screen size, and my old ass eyes. Sometimes it's difficult to read the text on the signs and the exit ramps.
Go straight on.
Like that parking sign right there. I mean, I know what it is, but I really can't read it till like right there. I know what it is, so I know. I mean, it's not a big deal. But if that's a sign that I don't know what it means or what it says, by the time you can actually see it and read it on my screen, it's too late to do anything about it. Like that white sign right there. What does that say? I can kind of read it there. It's just... the emergency flashers came on because it thought I was going to hit that truck. I wonder if it's tied to maybe just how hard you hit the brakes. That might be too. I know some cars do that. If you slam on the brakes hard, the emergency flashers come on. Now, see, there's construction right here. I said, why the hell do you not... In real life, you would have the sign notifying that the lane was closed way farther back than this, not just like right behind where the incident was. Ah, nice. That car right there let me in. That's a jet fighter. That was a jet fighter that fell off a trailer. That's another unique object I've never seen in the game before. I'm gonna bump the speed up to 60 here, I think. I have speeding fines turned off. It's cheating a little bit, but One thing I've noticed in the European game, you guys don't have way stations between um, countries or states or regions.
Keep right, and then exit right.
And in the U.S., there are way stations.
Exit right.
Usually when you exit a state, so if you're going from like Arkansas
Turn right.
into Texas, there'll be a way station as you leave Arkansas sometimes, and certainly when you enter the state. So if you have a pre-pass or a digital system, it may let you, it'll give you a green light and you can just continue. But if you get a red light, then you have to pull into the way station. They actually check your weight. They may randomly pull you in for a DOT, Department of Transportation inspection, where they look over your truck. I've not run into that here in the Euro Truck Simulator, where they do any kind of inspections. Shit. While you're en route. You know, there's like border crossings where they check your documents, but I haven't seen any like checking your weight type situation. Maybe they just chose not to incorporate it into the game. I don't know. In real life, in the U.S., the electronic system you have in your truck is linked to to your company. So let's say you work for a company that has a really high safety rating and a low incidence of, you know, breaking the rules or being overweight, having overweight violations. You have a much higher probability of getting a green light and just being passed down the interstate, so you don't have to pull in and stop. Also, some states have rolling scales actually on the interstate in the right-hand lane, or sometimes the two right-hand lanes. You'll drive over them as you're on the highway, and it does a measurement of your weight as you pass over it. I'm sure it's not super accurate, but doesn't really need to be. All right, we're on 15 minutes again. Holy shit. Be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we're back, so you can see where our progress. We're about maybe third of the way. See, that's like when you come back from the map, if you're in the middle of a corner, you end up kind of jiggling the freaking stick all over the place. I try to do those transitions in a location that's kind of straight. But yeah, in the U.S., you'll roll over that rolling scale, and I'm guessing it does a kind of a basic weight measurement. Probably not as accurate, but they're just looking to see that you're relatively close to your weight or under your weight. And then they also take a look at your safety record based on the transmitter, and you're more likely to get a pass if you drive for a company that has a good safety rating. I was fortunate that most of the companies I worked for when I drove were very safety conscious and had good ratings. And a few horror stories for me. One of the companies I worked for, we hauled, was a dry bulk tanker, and we were always pretty heavy. And occasionally with that powder, if you had they were pneumatic tankers with multiple pockets. You've probably seen them. Usually they're aluminum, and they have kind of like cone-shaped things down the length of the trailer. And if the person who loaded the trailer, loaded it from the back, or you have to, there's four hatches on the top, one over each pocket. So if you pick the one towards the rear, it's a little off center. And if that trailer sat for a while at the yard, that powder kind of solidifies a little bit, and then it doesn't really move much. I had one that I wasn't over my gross weight, but I was too much weight on the rear trailer axle. Normally, you could just, like, let's say it's too heavy on the trailer axle, you can get going a little bit, slam on the brakes, and get the stuff to kind of roll forward and even out. And this one would not do that. It must have been condensation, a little bit of moisture or something, and it kind of solidified and wouldn't move. So we had to bring another truck, and I had to blow off the load from that rear pocket into another trailer, which made a hell of a mess, right there at the scale house. I was off like 1,500 pounds or 2,000 pounds. It wasn't that much. I was kind of surprised they worried about it. Might have been under 1,000 pounds. I don't know. I don't remember. But it delayed me. It took us probably 5 or 6 hours for the truck to come, for us to hook it up, get the load blowed off. It's just a nightmare. I hated those 4-pocket trailers for that reason. We had some 3-pocket trailers. Those were better because they would pick the middle pocket and it would distribute evenly across the trailer. It only happened to me one time. And from that time on, I actually took a state route around that scale house. It added about 15 minutes to the journey, but it guaranteed that I didn't have to go over that scale. It's like I would rather plan for a 15-minute extra drive than have a 5-hour unplanned delay. So it was worth it. Truck, you could kind of estimate how much weight was on the drive axles based on the air suspension, but most of the trailers we had were steel sprung on the trailer wheels, and so there's no way to know how well it's distributed. There was a scale we could drive over, but it was probably a 25-minute drive to get to the scale. It wasn't always open. And then it was like $10, and it was just a single scale, so you'd drive over it, put your steering wheels on it, then drive forward, put your drive wheels on it, then drive forward, put your trailer wheels on it, and then it would print a receipt. But it was a hassle to get in and out of that place. It wasn't always open. Sometimes the scale didn't work. So rather than mess around with all that, I just would detour around the scale house and take a state route instead. It's not always a guarantee, though. Sometimes the DOT will put up, or the state DOT will put up mobile scale houses, and they'll pull you into the side of the road, and they've got mobile scales to put you on. Okay. That happens in real life too. People will be like, oh, this lane ends, I need to get over. And then they realize, oh no, it doesn't end. I don't have to get over. Say this truck has pretty good headlights. Once I progress a little farther in Euro Truck Simulator, you know, the money starts rolling in a little easier. I really want to try some of the other trucks. In American Truck Simulator, I can kind of do that because all I really need to do is you know, wait one day, you know, in game time, and you know, because of all the employees I have, you know, $150,000 shows up. So between that and doing the occasional load, you can get enough money together to buy another truck. Trucks in Euro Truck Simulator are more expensive. Can be more expensive. Although, the used truck side, you can get some pretty good deals sometimes. A lot of my drivers in Euro Truck Simulator are driving trucks I found on the used market. They don't really seem to deteriorate, the trucks. One thing though is you can't, like, you'll see like a truck that's like a 2-star. They rate them in stars 1 through 5, I think. And you'll see like a truck with like 1 or 2 stars. You can't use that. I don't even know why they offer them in the game. I guess because you could drive it yourself. But your company drivers will not drive a truck with, I think, 4 stars or lower. I'm not totally sure. I don't think they'll drive a truck with 3 stars. So I think it's got to be 4 stars or more, or they just won't drive it. And if you take a 2-star truck and take it to a shop and then, you know, pay to have it serviced or rebuilt, it costs more than the thing does new. So it's not worth it. In American Truck Simulator, all my company drivers are driving the same rig. Once I got enough money together, I just started doing that. I picked the least expensive, which I think is a Peterbilt 389. I can't remember, but it's saved as my fleet configuration. And so anytime I want to expand a garage or buy a new garage, I'll buy 2 or 3 of those trucks, hire 2 or 3 drivers. They're all just driving the same rig. It doesn't actually matter for the game. And in Euro Truck Simulator, there are some trucks that are recommended for your company driver, but they're all pretty expensive, and I can pick up a nice 4 or 5-star lower end truck in the used market for like, you know, 80 or 90, you know, versus like 150 euros. I was about to go around that truck and I realized he was...
Turn right.
Okay. What are you doing, dude? He's got to get over too. Okay. So I was talking about the navigation in the other video. It'd be nice if it was like, you know, in 3 miles, take exit, such and such. Or just have it displayed on the map, you know, showing, you know, 3 miles to your exit. Or something like that, but it doesn't. Just waits until you're like, you know, 1/8 of a mile from the exit. Keep right. Take exit to the right, whatever. looked at a couple of the different navigation mods, and one was Google Maps,
Keep left.
one was for Waze, and all they really are is visualization changes. They don't change how the navigation functions. Just the map looks like Google Maps or Waze. The icons are different. So it doesn't really help. I just downloaded a mod that changes the voice, I think only, to Google Maps. I might give that a whirl, but again, it's not going to really actually change how it works or make it better. Any real navigation, instead of just showing the map, it's going to show you, how far to your next exit. So you can prepare and be in the correct lane before you get there. That would just be a bit handy. Definitely love the way the Euro trucks, the way the cab suspends like that. It's really cool. I wish the US trucks did that. I think I mentioned in another video about a guy in the US, he's a YouTuber who's got a Scania truck that they
Keep left.
actually, he imported a late 90s Scania truck through Canada into the U.S. I should have stopped for a bit. Don't actually need it. My previous Scania truck that I had in this game had really small tanks. So when I look over that fuel gauge on the map, I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to have a trouble here. But this truck's got big-ass tanks, so... But yeah, this guy, I think his name is Bruce something. He bought a Scania truck, drives it around, just shows off the tech, that older truck. Okay, we need to slow down. What the hell? And, did a video series on a collaboration with Scania. Went to their factory. They built a truck. We did a video series watching it being built. Really cool. They powder coat their frames and then paint them. I think the stock color's gray. But you can powder coat and then paint the frame whatever color you want. His
Keep
favorite,
left, and then continue straight on.
his favorite color is a blue. So he powder coated the frame blue, or painted it
Go straight on.
painted it blue, and the truck is blue. They did a Scania 770, whatever the big 700 horsepower version is. They put Alcoa aluminum wheels, which are American style. They did put American style wheels on the truck. Other than that, it's
Keep
pretty
left,
much
and then continue straight on.
full on Euro loaded truck, and then it was going to make it do a tour of the
Go
U.S.
straight on.
at some of the American truck shows. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe Scania, it's Scania actually is how they pronounce it. I think they might be trying to kind of makes you wonder if they're going to come into the U.S. I don't see why they couldn't. The only thing would be if, like, our diesel engine emissions crap. That's 17 minutes. Hold on. Well, guys, I don't know what happened there. I went 17 minutes on the video, and it was still showing it was recording. I guess I will find out whether or not it actually was recording or not. I don't know. It's supposed to have a 15-minute time limit, and I missed it. So we'll see if I missed something there or not. Nothing I can do about it now. Well, in case it did stop recording and missed some of that, yeah, I'm wondering if Scania might be thinking about coming into the U.S. It'd be nice to see some additional competition. I mean, the U.S. trucks are pretty cool. They certainly visually they look different, and some of the European like tech, like the screens, the blind spot monitoring, automatic braking, pedestrian detection, you know, all that stuff is available in some American trucks. Freightliner.
Keep left, and then continue straight on.
Okay, so the navigation does actually say keep left and then continue straight on,
Go
and
straight on.
that's where you'll see this style of exit, where the right lane disappears and then comes back. But why not just have a lane right there? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I just saw a video from the Fast Lane Truck YouTube show channel, and they had one of their guys had one of their guys take a look at the new Freightliner Cascadia, and it has basically the blind spot monitor. It has all the tech that this truck has, pretty much. You know, good, better headlights. The glass on the front of the headlights is heated, which is nice. Could be a pretty significant problem with LED and HID headlights. They don't get hot enough to actually melt snow off the front of the headlight housing, and then you can't see where you're going. So, and it was automatic. You don't have to turn it on or anything. It just automatically turns on. So that was pretty cool. And they demonstrated some of the tech. And of course, Freightliner is owned by, I believe, Mercedes, Daimler. So it has been owned by Daimler for a while. I think 2006 or 2007.
Keep left, and then continue straight on. Go straight on.
So it does give you the audio warning about that right lane disappearing. Man, these lanes feel so narrow compared to American Truck Simulator. I mean, we used to have cab-over trucks in the U.S. It was long before my career. You still see them occasionally. Freightliner made the Argosy, which was a cab-over. They made that into the early, mid-2000s. Company I work for actually had a few. They used them in specific delivery applications, especially East Coast, New Jersey, some of the older parts of the country. Some of the docks that they have to go into, you cannot fit a modern truck in there. They were never designed to have 53-foot trailers. They were 48-foot or even less back in the 50s and 60s. And if you don't have a cab over truck, you simply cannot get into their dock. So they had a few, that company I work for had a contract with a particular company, and so they retained a limited fleet of cab over trucks for that specific contract. The other way it's handled, I went to a paper factory in New Jersey. I'm sorry, Philadelphia. And the way they handled it, it was kind of a little simpler and I thought smarter. You just pull up and then drop your trailer, and then they have a yard truck pick up the trailer, stick it in the dock for you, and then bring it back out to you when they're done loading it or unloading it. And that's an easy way to handle it too.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Probably helps eliminate the risk of damage at their dock too.
Exit right.
They had like these concrete poles, like big concrete piers between each dock. So like there was literally like 2 inches on each side of the trailers, or less. And so the only way you could really safely get in there was using a yard truck. And you know, the yard truck driver, they know the yard, they know the distances, they're familiar with their own dock, and it just eliminated problems and damage to their facility and made it easier for the truck drivers coming inbound. I had one of the best Philly cheesesteak. I had a Philly cheesesteak sandwich there one day. It was the best thing I've ever eaten in my life, just about. They had a food truck show up with a little lady, and her husband ran it. Told her, just make me the sandwich however you think it's best. Don't even know what the hell was on it. It was amazing.
Keep left.
Well, the good thing is it'll be daylight when we get to the ferry or the channel or whatever it is we're going to take.
Keep left.
Oh, you really don't see much. You know. When you take the Channel Tunnel, you drive down into like a pit. You drive the truck onto, I guess it's a freight train, because it makes a train horn sound, and you hit the button, and then you just magically appear on the other side. But the ferry, it's the same. You drive onto the ferry, hit the button, and then you're just on the other side again. The time does elapse appropriately. One of the longer trips I've actually done in Euro Truck Simulator. I think I did one that was over 900 miles. So if you guys in the comments, let me know whether you like the full length, long videos like this. It's kind of what I used to do on my YouTube channel before.
Keep right.
You know, I would just set the camera on my head, on a hat. I had a GoPro, like an original GoPro, and this is more like a vlog, you know, a vlog. That word didn't exist at the time.
Exit right.
A lot of subscribers from Australia, New Zealand, and other places. But I don't drive a real truck anymore, so thought about getting my CDL back, but I don't know. Don't think I really actually want to get back into that life. I miss the driving. I miss the truck driving a lot, but I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I don't miss the DOT and never being home. And I don't know. The money isn't as good as it used to be, from what I hear. The money got, when I've been gone from trucking for 10 years now. From what I hear, the pay went up and now it's back down. And it's like, okay. I pick up a lot of I drive professionally for rideshare, and pick up a lot of truck drivers. You know, take them to and from their trucks. A lot of them tell me what they're making, and I'm like, okay, it's about what I made 10 years ago. That doesn't really sound like a great deal to me. It would be more than I'm earning currently, but is it enough more to be worth the sacrifice of being home? Alright guys, I'm going to pause right here, because we're going to get into the transport across the channel here. We're only at 13 minutes, but it's a good time to do it. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, we are back. Probably ought to just not even bother saying that. I ought to just pause it and continue. It all gets stuck together into one video anyway. Let me know what you guys think, if you would rather me just do like 15-minute segments of each drive, or whether you prefer, you know, seeing the entire hour-long video.
Keep right.
We're going to Calais. No, that was the wrong thing to do. See, it said keep right, but not that right, the next right. So I was telling you about the navigation's kind of sucking.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Oh, I don't think it actually hurt us. Yeah, we're going to be taking the ferry, not the tunnel. Follow the other truck through. guessing in real life, these um, these little stations, like, why are you going through like past four different little toll houses there?
Finding new route.
Oh, I'm still on the route, you dumbass. That happens a lot too. Like you're on the only possible road you could be on, and navigation thinks you're someplace else. I mean, I guess the reason for the big long snaking road up to the ferry is that the reality is it takes a while to load, and you have a lot of trucks on each ferry, so they have to stage somewhere. Actually, the first time I've ever done this with traffic turned on. Usually you just pull right up and you get right on the ferry, but there's multiple trucks in front of us, which is what it would be like in real life. Let's take a look. Let's take a look around while we. Know if we can drive around these? I don't think so. Kind of makes you wonder, like, what are they honking at? And then the other question you're wondering is like, see, I see some trucks parked in the far right lane up there. Are they just honking because they want to honk? And are we stuck in an AI jam up where there's a truck stuck up here? One of the AI trucks is stuck up there, not doing anything when they could be. I'm going to give it another minute, and then I'm going to drive around all these trucks and see what I can see up there. Zoom in and out. See if there's multiple lanes over here. I don't think so. That's an outbound lane. Something's probably screwed up. Now, I think there's a red light up there. Alright, guys. When we move, I'll be back. Okay, guys, we're back. What I did was I disconnected the trailer and drove over here to see if there's another lane. And there is. I don't know if we're supposed to use that or not, or what the deal is, but we're gonna try it. Okay, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Rerouting.
So all that was for nothing. It's just for show. That seems like a major bug in the traffic. And you go right here, hit enter destination. The only place you can go is Dover, and you hit embark.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Okay. Lesson learned. With the traffic turned on, you just got to ignore them and go around them. That kind of seems like a major bug to me. Like, why would you not have the AI traffic just, you know, continuing to move? Now it gets weird because this is Great Britain and they drive on the other side of the road. So you're just gonna have to stop for me, guys. That seems like a major screw up there. Like you have a major hill coming out of a truck, out of a ferry, right onto a 4-lane highway with no sort of traffic control device there. That seems a bit weird. Again, I've never done this with traffic turned on,
Keep
so...
right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Going or what?
Get ready to turn right. was a nice ride.
We're at 90 XP. Sometimes the XP is high, even though the parking situation is going to be pretty easy. Other times you'll see a 90 XP reward for a parking situation, and it's really complex, maybe because it's sitting right next to that ramp. I don't know. Over this way because of that ramp. I hate when I do that shit. Over. Overcorrect. And I made it worse. That's usually what happens, dude. In real life, too. Oh my god. One problem is when you're using a stick, like I am, when you're backing up and when you go forward to backwards, you're backwards and your steering angle changes like that. I just screwed up and went the wrong way. The steering wheel, I wouldn't do that. Alright, good enough. Alright, guys. So there you go. If you do like maybe 3 long trips like that, you would complete an entire level. Maybe 2 trips like that. So the longer the trip, the greater the XP, and the farther up you go. And then as your levels progress, your income progresses, and so on and so forth. All right, guys. That'll be it for this video. I actually need to have some things I got to do. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to comment. Give me some suggestions about what you guys like, what you guys don't like. If you have any things you want to see, any destinations in the map, locations. I'd love to hear from you guys. Talk to you later. Be safe out there.